friends, welcome back to my channel, Clover Rosie Art. Today I am going to be drawing the Greek goddess Athena. While I am drawing her, I am going to be telling you guys facts and myths about her. I would like to thank my friend Brinley for researching and writing down these facts and myths. I think Greek mythology is so interesting. Actually, two of my favorite book series are Percy Jackson and Heroes of Olympus. My friend who wrote down these myths loves Greek mythology a lot more than me though. Like in most of my videos, I already sketched out Athena, and now I will be outlining and coloring her in. Anyway, let's get on to the video. I would also like to say a disclaimer first too. There are many different interpretations of Greek mythology, and stories may be different depending on what you read. Athena is the goddess of wisdom, weaving and crafts, and the war. She's really the goddess of war strategy. Ares is the god of war. Her symbol is an owl, which I will represent in this drawing. She was born from the mind of Zeus, and is often referred to as Zeus's favorite child. The first myth is of Arachne and Athena. Arachne was a girl who lived in Greece. She was a very good weaver and spinner. She wove all sorts of beautiful pictures into her cloth, and people came from all around to see her beautiful cloth. But Arachne knew she was good, and had too much pride. Arachne began telling people she was better at spinning and weaving than the goddess Athena was. Athena was also known as a good spinner and weaver. As I stated before, she was also the goddess of weaving and crafts. Athena was upset that Arachne would say that, and she challenged Arachne to a weaving contest. Arachne compared herself to a goddess, which you should never do. Offending a god or goddess can end up with many bad things happening, just like in this myth. The two of them set up their looms in the same room, and they wove from early in the morning until late at night. Then they compared what they had done. Athena had woven a beautiful cloth showing the gods and goddesses sitting together on Mount Olympus and doing good deeds for people. But Arachne thought she was so smart. She wove a cloth making fun of the gods and goddesses, showing them falling down and making a mess of things. You know this will not end well. Still, it was told that it was better weaving than Athena had done. When Athena saw it, she was even angrier than she had been before. Even though Arachne's weaving was better, Athena didn't care. She pointed her finger at Arachne, and suddenly Arachne's nose and ears shrank up. Her hair all fell out, her arms and legs got long and skinny, and her whole body shrank until she was just a little tiny spider. And that's why the Greeks believe that we have spiders. So the next time you see a spider, you can think of Athena and Arachne. My friend put in this commentary, and I totally agree with her on everything she said here. When I first read this, I thought Athena was in the wrong. I mean, yes, it was harsh, but gods have done way worse than that. The crazy thing, I think, is that Arachne didn't see it coming. You were rude to a goddess and didn't think you would be turned into a spider. That's crazy! I wouldn't be straight up rude to a goddess because they are a goddess. They have magic, they're super strong and stuff. Well, moral of the story, don't be mean to a goddess. The next myth is shorter, but also sadder than Arachne and Athena. The myth of Pallas. Unlike the other myth, I have never heard this one before. As a child, Athena had a friend she loved above all. Her name was Pallas, and she was all but her equal in the art of war. However, one day when they were practicing some martial art exercises, Athena accidentally killed her friend. Grief-stricken in an attempt to preserve her memory, she added her friend's name to her own. That's why many people know Athena as Athena Pallas. By the way, it's Pallas like P-A-L-L-A-S, not palace like a castle. The next and final myth is the naming of Athens. Please forgive me if I pronounce any names in this myth wrong. Cecrops, a half-man, half-snake, was the founder of a city. He had named his city after him, Cecropia. However, the gods of Olympus saw this lovely piece of land and wanted to name it after themselves and become its patron. The most persistent rivals were Poseidon, the sea god, and Athena, the goddess of wisdom. To solve their dispute, Zeus decided that each of them would make a gift to the city, and the king Cecrops would decide which gift was the best, and therefore which god would be the patron of the city. One sunny day, Cecrops and the residents of the city went to the high hill to watch the gods giving their gifts. Poseidon was the first to present his gift. He struck a rock with his trident and caused a spring of water to gush forth from the ground. This signified that he was assuring the citizens with water, and therefore they wouldn't face any time of drought. However, the people were not exactly enchanted with this gift, because the water from the spring tasted salty, just like the waters of the sea over which Poseidon ruled. Next, there was the turn of the goddess Athena. She she planted a seed in the ground, which grew up to become a lovely olive tree. The citizens liked this gift better, because it would give them food, oil, and firewood. Athena had one, and they called the city Athens. Moreover, it's worth mentioning that the myth has a point of reality. Many olive trees are still found in the suburbs of Athens, but the city indeed faces problems of drought, especially in summer. They need to get supplied with water from Uliki Lake, close to the modern Thebes, Mornos River, and Phocida in Marathon Lake. As you can see in my drawing, I incorporated many aspects of Athena into it from the facts that I told you guys. I drew an owl flying towards her because her symbol is of an owl, and she is often depicted with an owl. A helmet is on her head, and I put a spear in her hand to represent how she is the goddess of war strategy. She also has a shield with Medusa's face on it. That is from another myth that Athena is involved in. My friend Brinley didn't include it in this video because I may draw Medusa in a future video, and that myth will be included in there. Then I just drew Athena in a Greek toga and gladiator sandals as best as I could. There is no direct statement of what Athena's hair is, so I chose a brown for it, since I have seen Athena be represented with brown hair the most. I don't know if you guys have ever read the Percy Jackson or Heroes of Olympus series, but if you haven't and you enjoy Greek mythology, you need to check them out. Heroes of Olympus series also includes Roman mythology in it too, which I think is very interesting, especially since I don't know that much about Roman mythology. Both of the series are by Rick Riordan and are basically about the demigod children of the gods. The reason I decided to draw Athena as the first character in this series is because if I was in that universe, I think that I would be a daughter of Athena. My favorite character in the series is Annabeth, who is also a daughter of Athena. I colored her helmet in a golden yellow color. Their Greek togas are normally depicted as just white, but I wanted to add a little more, so I outlined it and colored it in with this light blue color. I used my gray marker and dark brown marker to color in her spear. I do think that the way I have her holding her spear doesn't exactly look right, but I tried my best, and hands and arms aren't my strong suit. Much like her helmet, I also colored Athena's shield the golden color too. Next, I colored the owl that is flying towards her. I colored the owl with golden yellows so it would match the helmet and shield. I didn't exactly put anything in the drawing that shows that Athena is the goddess of weaving and crafts, but I wasn't sure what to put in there that wouldn't be a big cloth picture that would draw away from the rest of the drawing. Athena is normally represented with gray eyes. I only had dark gray markers, so I colored her eyes this lightest blue color. I also decided to leave the background blank, because I wasn't exactly sure what I could do with it. But without any fancy or ornate background, it draws your eye more to Athena, which is good. I hope you enjoyed the first video in this series of drawing Greek gods and goddesses and other characters from Greek mythology. Comment down below which character from Greek mythology should be included in this series. I will even try to draw not just only girls in this series, even though I really struggle at drawing boys. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll get notified every time I post. Please also like this video if you enjoyed it. I post every Wednesday and Saturday. Bye, and remember, keep being creative.